Good morning all and welcome to the lecture. So in this class we are going to discuss about the impact of transnational actors in policy making. Okay. So what is transnational actors? So what is a term means? So transnational actors have come to be considered political, social, cultural and economic agents or groups that have trans-societal relations across borders. They pursue their goals somewhat independently of government consideration. So under the term transnational actors, different groups are there like NGOs, MNCs, etc. So transnational actors that wield considerable influence on political actors, politics across borders, such as non-governmental organizations. So here you can see some non-governmental organization like Roman Catholic Church, International Red Cross Society, Greenpeace, Doctors Without Borders is another NGO. So multinational corporations, religious actors, terrorism rebels, criminal actors, and diaspora and ethnic actors are so many groups are there under the term transnational actors, and we can classify them under various groups like NGOs or MNCs. But for this, uh, to understand what is the role of transnational actors, it is enough. So we can collectively call them as transnational actors, and we want to study about their influence on policy making, how they interfere the policy making process of every nation. That is our major concern. So we can focus on their influence. So we can collectively call them as collectively we can call these groups as national transnational actors and TNAs. So the social and cultural, why these TNAs were given so much importance uh, for the long years, because after the uh, uh, entry of globalization. Globalization is a major reason behind this importance of these national, cross-national actors like or transnational actors. So, because the globalization, the social and cultural consequences of globalization are being explored under the heading of transnational. So, globalization had um, paved the way for the growth of these organizations beyond the borders of every nation. So these groups, these transnational actors have a major role in making policies of every nation, even either domestic policies or either either or foreign policies. These actors as has a major role in making or alternating or making some very important alterations in the remaining or the existing policies of nations. Okay, so we can just look into the evolution of these transnational actors. So historically, the existence of trade-related transnational organization has been observed since the days of European colonialism. Um, although a scholarly gap in the historiography of transnational actors and more generally international relations exists, closer to home, in the 14th century, in European merchants guilds along the main bodies of water established guidelines um, for the smooth exchange of commodities threatened by the foreign militaries and rulers. So, um, the emergence of activist transnational actors in the anti-slavery and suffrage movements of 19th century is also some various other movements during this period. So we can find it from the European colonialism, and even in the 14th century as part of the trade smooth uh, uh, smooth development of their trade. And following when we come to the modern era, following the demise of League of Nations, and the emergence of United Nations and its funds and programs were created so to build and restructure and to rebuild the nations uh, nations that means the nation which are typically um, destructed uh, after the World War. So its formation was predicted upon regulating specific policy areas in a multilateral manner. Only the historical developments as they relate to the increase of transnational relations are discussed here. The UN as a system of globally acting functional entities coincided with the founding of the Bretton Woods institutions. So Bretton Woods institutions are World Bank, IMF, and certain other organizations. The meetings of the Bretton Woods institutions, including UN associated World Bank and International Monetary Fund and the Independent General Agreement on Trade and Tariffs (GATT) and the precursor of the World Trade Organization, provided opportunity for transnational political coordination. So that is a major development. So we can say that only after the Second World War. Importantly, the UN also incorporated international non-governmental organizations, interest groups, and non-profit organizations into its working procedures by relating them to its Economic and Social Council uh, in a consultative fashion. So non-governing organizations were invited to provide their expertise in specific matters to the UN to represent world public opinion to bolster support for the institution. Over time, their influence spread to other agencies in the UN, evidenced by the Conference of Non-Governmental Organization in consultative relationship with the UN. In 1970s and 1980s, after the theorization of complex interdependence of states based primarily on economic exchange, TNCs and international non-government organizations remained the main entities theorized in the field. TNCs had varying impacts on the modernization of developing economies based on domestic conditions rather than on TNC's constant characteristics. In contrast to this example, but different than this example, some TNAs lack political legitimacy or economic power, yet they are able to exploit the connectedness of markets, countries, and people. The spread of transnational radical ideologies exemplified by two similar terrorist networks with essentially the same goals but different outcomes. Al Qaeda and ISIS, that means Islamic State of Iraq and Syria. While governments have conducted them, some major issue was um, government have conducted transgovernmental relationships in the past, but they lacked in regulating or controlling non-state actors, like these transnational actors and transnational corporations. So that is a major issue that they are facing. So um, these transnational actors are um, typically engaging in the um, policy making part of every nations or internationally they are influencing the every nations to in the process of their policy making, but some transnational actors are working as negatively or as against the will of these all nations. So they are like some terrorist groups or some transnational actors. They are working against um, um, the development um, situations of all these countries. They are like negative transnational actors are also there, but the major problem is that the government or these all these nations are failing to regulate a good control over these transnational actors. They are not adequately um, capable to control or regulate these transnational actors or corporations. That is a major issue. Okay. Transnational actors gained much importance only with the advance of globalization process in the 20th century. According to the public policy, it have huge impact on the policy of a country. A transnational actors experts much of their influence on country by the roles of think tanks and policy entrepreneurs rather than the role of financial loans and materials interests. So rather than the financial loans or material interest, they provide very much role in by giving think tanks and policy uh, advice or as working as a policy entrepreneurs. So from World Bank to IMF and the OECD uh, and international organization and other transnational policy actors provide policy advice as well as a technical and financial support to most countries around the world. So it is necessary to understand how it impacts on the national policy making and what are the channels through these actors impacts on policy of a country. There is also an ideational process constitute the major aspects of the influence of transnational actors on country level policy development. These actors exert to their influence in a country in policy by taking the role of global think tank, idea shop, and policy entrepreneurs. From an international perspective, international and transnational actors often act as a global um, think tank that helps spread ideas from one country to while reaching out to specific national actors or international organizations like World Bank don't always impose their will through financial constraints as they generally need to convince national actors to collaborate with them and implement such ideas. Role of transnational actors and policy in policy making. So transnational actors have become influential exponents in policy of ideas in country after country. Transnational policy actors are defined broadly here as individual or collective actors that seeks to influence policy in multiple countries through the advocacy of specific well elaborated policy proposals. They may include international organization, transnational activist network, epistemic communities, individual policy entrepreneurs. So transnational policy actors have many tools for influencing governmental policy globally across a defined set of countries. These actors lack direct veto power over government policy. However, these actors who have a formal veto over policy through either constitutional means or by virtue of being part of coalition government whose vote are necessary to achieve majority. But the veto players allow little room for the transnational actors. NGOs, policy entrepreneurs, or other agenda. Setting actors play in policy process worldwide, and these actors lack direct control because they are set outsiders and lack of veto power. So, but they develop a wide range of activities that are intended to overcome this lack of formal power. Many, if these activities are ideational in character, many of these activities are ideational in character. In particular, transnational actors play a role of proposal actors rather than veto players. Rather than exercising a veto, they attempt to influence the idea and strategies of national veto players in multiple countries by educating, socializing, or otherwise influencing the ideas and preference of key veto players. They affect public policy worldwide. Thus, there is a ideational link on the relationship between transnational actors and public policy making at the national level. This type of organization exercise their influence through oppression to reach the goals in front to God environment. For example, in the United States, Greenpeace has led a campaign to end the marketing of overfished seafood population in American supermarkets. As a result, Shop and Jane Food, so they are the major companies are not selling shark, orange, roughy and Chilean sea bass until the populations are rebound. So that is a major influence from the part of um, a, a, transnational actors in the policy making. So it can be concluded that the transnational actors have an essential and central character in the system because the globalization, the market opens the communication and increasing interdependence, the unification of markets, societies and culture. Governments need make a transition in resources, influencing the government politics because of the relations among other countries, taking in account the shared problems, risk and rewards according to social, political and economic issues. All these aspects lead the government to design policies for better development and management of newly emerging phenomena in the field. In social terms, the design of policy is even more important. The need for government to fight the interest of society, minimizing poverty and improving quality of life of the inhabitants, which is threatened by some unregulated corporations that bring the benefits and reduce unemployment for nationals. On the other hand, there is a great influence of NGOs face the struggle for rights, human rights, which arise as a response to needs which the state does not satisfy. Civil society organizations are looking for alternative solutions and complementary to the full development of these shortcomings. No doubt, pressures exerted by these organizations or governments, um, because of these pressures, the um, organizations are government reacting, address problems or identified, found and criticized by them. So these actors, whether NGOs or any other multinational companies or transnational actors, they have a major role in making national policies. Sometimes uh, it may be negative impact, and most of the time it is a positive impact, um, in the side of uh, social aspect and international standard to the society, providing international standard to the society of every nation. Their role is very their role is very significant. Okay, so these are about uh, transnational actors impact on policy making. Okay, thank you.